Hey Virgo, these are your 2025 predictions. Let's get started. I'm going to choose 12 cards and I'm going to start with you, Virgo. This is going to be you, the self, the first house. And let's choose 12, maybe 13 if Spirit says. So let's see. Okay, that's going to be the first house of Virgo. Okay. Okay, so your first house, Virgo, you got the Hangman. Okay, and let's see the second house, third. Nine. That was reversed. 10, 11, and 12. Okay. So, Virgo. So, for your first house, the first house is about our identity. It is about our self, it's about our brain structure, how we approach this world, it is our vitality. And you have the Hangman. And so for the year 2025, you're asked to look at life from a new perspective, in a refreshed way, in a more developing way, in a way of evolution. There will be a nodal shift, right? And those nodes are going to be in Pisces, North Node in Pisces, South Node K2 in Virgo. And the South Node is going to be in your first house. So this is you getting rid of those old patterns, but K2 likes to cause a little bit of chaos, because it likes to dig up these secrets. It likes to dig up the lies and things that we like to tell ourselves and the mental formulas that we put up inside of our brains to mess up. Well, we don't do it intentionally to mess up our own life. We do it because these are things that we have been taught. These are experiences that we have and that we internalize instead of, alchemizing them. And so for the year 2025, everything that you have been through, you're asked to alchemize this. You're asked to analyze it in a way that brings you further in life, not in a way that keeps you stuck in the past or thinking about how these things have happened. There are going to be eclipses in your sign, as well. And this is giving you that new start and that new fresh push and that urge that you need to understand your Christ energy. The Hangman is really our Christ energy, and it's really about, our third eye and how we can see into this reality. When your sign goes into the moon, when your sun sign goes into the moon, you want to refrain from having like sexual activities or like drinking alcohol, Virgo, especially in the year 2025, like practicing some type of celibacy, because with these eclipses are going to move you in ways that are so grand. You are going to be shifted to see your life in a whole new different way. K2 is extremely spiritual, so everything becomes spiritually inclined for you. Everything has a message in it for you. Everything requires you to analyze it in ways to further your spiritual journey. And, the Hangman really tells me that you are on a liberation journey. You are in a liberation when it comes to the third eye's vision. The third eye's vision, it's most important, right? But sometimes our mind just fluctuates a lot. Our mind and our brain is like electricity. It's constantly shooting thoughts and shooting out thoughts. And sometimes we cannot control them, but other times we can alchemize them, we can catch them, we can observe them, we can see how we can change them. And this is how you're being asked to do that, because you're ruled by Mercury, you're ruled by the mind. And for the year 2025, you're going to get a new perspective that shifts your mind. And so moving to the second house of Libra, when it comes to your finances, the more truth that you tell, the more clarity that you get, the more divine truth that you spread, the more divine truth, enlightenment that you are willing to receive. is the more you enhance your self-worth, your confidence, you know, the more clarity that you have in making choices and making the right choices to enhance your finances. This is a house of value as well, you know, and so bringing value to yourself will offer you a breakthrough. Bringing value to your craft, bringing value to the truth that you speak, bringing value to the relationships that value you, Virgo. And you know, there's new opportunities when it comes to making when it comes to making choices about your life, when it comes to making money choices about your life, when it comes to making financial choices about your life, there's new opportunities to see things in different ways and to weigh out these options to see what's the better one for you. Right? And so coming into the third house of the mind, the communication, the siblings, there can be wish fulfillment coming true, your talents and skills being crystallized, you know, and being moved into something that's extremely powerful now. You know, you become a master at this. This is the 9 of Cups. And, you know, these are wishes coming true, right? Wishes coming true. Things that you're fulfilling. And what I mean by wishes, these are skills that we hold and that we do on a day-to-day basis. Well, not a day-to-day, the skills that we're trying to perfect and that we're trying to make better. And that can bring our mind, you know, a sense of ease. And that we can use to help the environment around us, to help our siblings. This is also the house of like our childhood experiences. And we find abundance through our skills. We find abundance through the things that we're able to physically create with our own hands, with the things that we're able to mentally create. Because this is a house of mental formulas and is ruled by Scorpio of the mental formula. We also, most importantly, want to watch our emotions. Our emotions completely need to align with our skills and values that we wish to bring or we wish to enhance. In the year Virgo of 2025, you have this opportunity to perfect your skills at home. The fourth house or overseas, you have the fourth house in Sagittarius. This can be overseas travel. This can be you perfecting your craft inside of the home, becoming master at your skills, accomplishing many things that have to do with legacy, that have to do with your emotional body makeup, right? Now you become a little bit more happier about it. You're able to alchemize these experiences now, these childhood experiences. You're able to alchemize these things. This is the 8 of Pentacles. And this is really showing me like when you're working to enhance your skills, your craft, working to enhance your emotional body, you know, even when it comes to your communication style, you know, expanding language, expanding this, you're actually helping your whole ancestral line, right? You're helping things become more clarified, you know, more aligned, more forward movement, you know, more movement. And it's definitely an accomplishing feeling, you know, because you're working at this craft, perfecting this craft that your ancestors have worked on as well. And so moving on to the 5th house of Capricorn, you have the King of Swords, and the 5th house is about dating. The 5th house is about, you know, our expression. In the year of Virgo, in the year 2025, you have these high standards. You know, you have these high standards at a place like of you're not being played with. Your boundaries are set so straight and they're so tight that you're seen as this authoritative figure, as this astute man who's only honest and truthful to those that they encounter. You know, that is no longer letting anyone just tell them things. You know, they need mental clarity. They're now offering mental clarity to people around them. They have high standards, so you cannot be around like Virgo will not Virgo, you will not want to be around, or you should never be around people who do not see you as inspiring, who don't want you around them. If they're happy that you're there, of course, you know, that's always a happy feeling. But now getting a little bit more serious about those boundaries, about who you're sleeping with, who you're letting have access to you, even your children. In a way, there has to be some type of discipline, right, behind it. They have to see you as someone who has authority and has standards to make those things happen for themselves, right, Virgo? And so the 6th house is going to be in Aquarius, and this is the house of health. This is your house, and you have the Queen of Cups here. So this tells me that you tapping into that divine feminine, you tapping into that, nurturing ability, you tapping into those emotions, whether this is mental, because the 6th house is a house of service, is the 6th house is a house of health, even mental health, your pets, your duties. There can be a sense of day-to-day tasks where, your family, your work, something requires you to act as the Queen of Wands. Something requires you to listen to them. People come up to you at work and now they're telling you their life story, and now you're offering them advice. Now you're seen as this queen of empathy. And this is a great thing, I do feel as though, because when you're talking about Aquarius, this is humanitarian issues. So if you can become some type of Virgo, if you use your words to become some type of therapy, therapeutic voice, therapeutic music, therapeutic books, therapeutic this, therapeutic anything that can further humanity, anything that has to do with technology. This is where you can really display the wisdom that you have to bestow upon people. Even if it's just in the workplace, definitely offer that softer side of you. Okay, and then moving over to the 7th house of Pisces. So K2 will be not K2. K2 will be in your sign, but Rahu will be in Pisces, in your 7th house of relationships, Virgo. And this is an Ace of Cups. And in my opinion, this is asking you and the partner, if you are, in the partner, to let go of things that do not serve the relationship. The union must grow and must expand, but it cannot if you continuously linger in the past. Pisces has to do with the past, and sometimes Virgo get, or they attract partners who remind them of the past, who bring out the not so good qualities in them, in the Virgo tendencies, but also bring out the great qualities in them. Virgo's relationships really move them in a spiritual sense. And in the year 2025, if you are not in a unionship, you can meet someone who you see as a god, who you have the strong emotional attachment to. You do want to be careful because, like I said, North Node in any sign, it doesn't give you false confidence or false, it can definitely back itself up, but it's nodes of the moon, so it's constantly shifting in some sense, But within your relationship, there's this joy that can be developed when you're letting the past go. There is new love beginnings when you're letting the past be the past. And I'm not saying let the past go in order to forget, Virgo. I'm saying letting the past go in order to welcome and to receive new blessings, new growth. Because when we're talking about partnerships, we can expect the partnership to grow, as we expand. We don't want to be the only ones to have growth, right, Virgo? We want them to grow as well. And so inviting that to happen this year can happen for you. And in the year 2025, if you do meet someone, this can be something that is long-term, but you also want to use your intuition, right? And you want to use that sense of mental clarity that you will receive this year to make decisions. Is it really fulfilling is the question. Okay, and moving to the 8th house of debts, of loans, of the government's money, of other people's money, of shared resources. And this is also the house of your psychological wars that you start up in your mind. And this is in Aries. Well, your 8th house is ruling over Aries. It's usually ruled by Scorpio. And you have this you have 5 of Pentacles in this. And this shows me in the year of 2025, there can be a financial loss, Virgo. There can be a financial loss when you choose to only work by yourself. Because we're supposed to be, well, I won't say we're supposed to be, working with others, Virgo, is essential for the year of 2025 when it comes to growth. Because K2 is going to be in your sign. And K2 likes to, dig underneath the surface, like to really find out things. But sometimes it is a little bit, obsessive. It's a little bit jealous too. So you also want to make sure that when you are getting around people, you don't want to be selfish. You don't want to be the know-it-all. Because this can show up as financial loss. When you are not working to help and with others, you can be left out of the cold on projects, right? Or of new advances, of new experiences. People don't want to invite you to certain things because, they've let you out into the cold because you're not willing to work together with them. This year, 2025, offers you blessings, but it can also offer you a sense of feeling loss and lack when you're not willing to collaborate with another person, right? This comes from an intense insecurity sometimes, because I said, K2 likes to do that sometimes within our unions and relationships. And most of the time, this is very like, this is a delusion. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is something that's not always real. This is something that you may have made up within your own head to protect yourself, And when it comes to losing finances in the year of 2025, this only will happen if you're not willing to work with others. Others want to not be in poverty as well. You know what I'm saying? Others want to move up in the world as well, right? And the ninth house. The ninth house is going to be in Taurus, and we're having a sense of justice. So doing what is right. As I said, moving with integrity through this year. It's going to be all up to you, right, Virgo? This is obviously it's your choice, but doing the things that is right, or the things that feel right, or the things that are right turn out to be right for you this year. If it doesn't feel right, if it feels like greed, if it feels like you're being greedy, if it feels like you're taking and not receiving, it's probably not right. You can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to your higher self. And this is a house of evolution and not lying to yourself. And so there's a sense of justice when it comes to whatever you cause, has an effect. Even when it comes to the lower and higher mind, yes, your higher self is always going to try to advise you the best, but it does depend on your attitude. It depends on your approach to life. And when we're talking about the ninth house too, we're talking about the belief systems. And the belief systems are important when it comes to making choices in our life. Every choice that we make is dependent on our lower selves. If we are unaware of our higher self, of our higher forces, of our ability to evolve and to transcend into something bigger, to become something more. There's such thing as universal law, but there is also such thing as worldly law. Though the worldly law, they decide what's wrong is right and wrong. Universal law is more of it's right. Your spirit knows what's right and your spirit knows what's wrong. It's really up to you to decide. You know what I'm saying? But there is a sense of karma too. Biggest thing is don't lie to your higher self, Virgo, because your higher self always wants the best for you. And the more transparent that you are, even when it comes to, things that you want to hide, things that you don't really want to tell others, you still have to be truthful to yourself. And so coming into the 10th house of your career, of your position in the world, how the world sees you, your authoritative attribute to this world. You have the tower in reverse. And our life path is so important in life, right? And it's not that we need to spend our whole life doing the same thing. Yours in Gemini, you're definitely not going to spend your whole life doing the same thing. However, there is a purpose for our existence that, that drives our life, in a way. And the tower showing up here, where there can be a resistance to change the career. Because as I said, there is so, like, throughout your life, you've changed so much. And you may have found something, Virgo, that actually produces stable income, right? Because Gemini moves so much. Sometimes in life, you're moving jobs so much where it's not always stable, right? And there can be a fear of having to go through a transformation in order to remain stable. Transforming into understanding your own power and your own mental formulas and how you can push it out into the world and be a success. Sometimes it takes these moments of aha, these moments of stillness and stopping, you know, not so much about talking, but thinking, you know, analyzing, but not criticizing, where we want our life to go. These are important for us to stop and do these things. Okay? And in the year 2025, you will have a time of reflection, a time to see that, what am I doing in my career? You know, am I truly happy? Am I just fear to change because of this stability that I'm receiving from this? Okay? And then the 11th house of groups, you know, the 11th house of your long-term dreams, your long-term goals and wishes. And I feel like you will find a lot of harmony within your home, Virgo. A lot of celebration and celebrating the little things about life, you know, having this peaceful existence with your lower self, your higher self, everyone else's selves that exist within your home. And I really do feel like it's finding peace within those long-term goals and wishes, knowing that they will, you know, come into fruition and they will bring you a sense of security and, you know, even emotional stability. This is definitely needed with Cancer ruling over this house, because our emotions, you know, can be pulled easily by our friendship groups, you know, by our long-term goals, especially when they're not met. But in the year of 2025, they are met with celebration, with reunions, you know, with clarity now, with understanding, with using your intuition to be more understanding instead of being, you know, I wouldn't say standoffish, to be more understanding and compassionate towards everyone else, because you need to be that way towards yourself, right, Virgo? And so moving to the 12th house, and so Mars is going to be in the 12th house in the beginning of the year of 2025. And in my opinion, Mars in Leo, it causes accidents. Actually, Mars in the 12th causes accidents. And, you know, Mars is sharp objects, knives, you know, things, whatever is sharp, swords and things of that nature. You have the 5 of Cups showing up here. And, you know, Leo is the sun. You know, Leo is our vital force, our energy, you know, our life's purpose. And in some way, shape, or form, there is some sorrow that is met in the year 2025 because of Mars being in your 12th house for a little. Because you're so eager to get things done and so eager to do things, but there is behavior to be, you know, confronted. There is a level of disappointment that you feel in having to let stuff go. You know, there's a level of grief that you feel because, Virgo, letting things go, especially old versions of ourselves, is not easy because we love them. We're going to miss them. You know what I'm saying? We're going to miss them, not in a way that they have fulfilled us, but am I losing myself if I choose to change type of thing, you know? It's that fear of losing the confidence, of losing your sense of self, of losing that authentic part of yourself, or you feel is so authentic, or you feel like it's genuine. But in creating a more better and truer version of yourself in the year 2025 is met with a sense of grief and loss. But this is because you are grieving that version of you that is not serving anymore. With the eclipses in your sign in the year 2025, you are definitely asked and being shifted to move into a more aligned version of yourself. And I'm going to choose another a card for you for the year of 2025 because your spirit guides are telling me to do so. So can I have one more card for Virgo? One more message for Virgo for the year 2025. One more message for Virgo for the year 2025. This one. Okay. Wow, Virgo, we have this High Priestess. I mean, I know it. I just know it. Like, I know for a fact how magical, mystical Virgo's energy is. I met a Virgo one time actually at a job that I used to work at, and she really awakened me. I don't think that she understands. She really awakened my spirit, and she made me remember. Like, she really made me remember like what I like, what I want to do. And even though she wasn't as spiritually inclined as she appeared to be, she didn't notice, she wasn't as consciously aware as she was subconsciously. She was really, in my opinion, seen as the High Priestess. So for you in the year 2025, this is you, Virgo. Like, you don't understand how your words of wisdom can truly help the next person, can truly awaken them onto their path. And it's so special. In the year 2025, you can hear people saying, like, finally saying, like, thank you, you know, for everything that you have said, you know, everything that you have written, everything that you have done, everything that you have tried to represent and portray, the wisdom of your voice, of the sound that you make, you know, of any type of the intuitive message that you gave me. Like, people will come to you saying their thanks, giving thanks to you. Like, I just gave thanks to you, Virgo, and because there is a level of acknowledgement that we must give the High Priestess, right? Like, we have to give the High Priestess its dues. And in the year of 2025, your dues are met with admiration, with admiring the things that you know, the places that you've been, and the voice that you use. Subconsciously, these things subconsciously, things become conscious to you. Or vice versa. I think you know what I'm saying, Virgo. The things that you didn't know that you did for people kind of shows you, like, this is what you are doing for people. And the High Priestess, I will always say, is the feminine energy that we all need and that we all have, and that truly some of us possess more, like, better than others. In the year 2025, you're possessing this and you're progressing this. Like, you're really showing us what the High Priestess is in a very Virgo-like type of way, in a very spiritually inclined way. But it's so beautiful. Like, as I keep saying, it's just so beautiful, because I think about how the Virgo has really shifted, you know, the way that I saw life and the way that I see life just in that little, you know, bit of time of knowing her. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a really beautiful thing for you, Virgo. Really change these people's lives, and put them onto the right path. You don't know that you're doing it, but you are. And in the long run, these are going to be entities when it comes to working with others, you know. That's where it grows, because they want to give you everything that you gave to them. You know what I'm saying, Virgo? And so it's important for you to work with others. That way you don't experience any losses in the year of 2025. Those, you know, we all experience losses in our life, but in the year of 2025, you are expected to win so much that you will only lose when you choose to not work with others. And trust me, working with others requires setting up those boundaries. Like, K2 is not going to let any foolery, you know, come into it. It's going to reveal all the secrets that have been hidden to you. You know, you won't be fooled. However, working with others is more important for them than for you. So you have to understand this, Virgo. And that's all I have for you, Virgo, for the year 2025. This is great. So if you can share my video with someone, if it was helpful, if it resonates with you, that's great. And I will love you forever. In the year 2025, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. So it would mean so much for me if you can share this video. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, Virgo.